So I'm Emmanuelle Vire, and I work at UCL, University College London in the UK. And my group investigates whether epigenetic contributes to neurodegeneration, and if it does, how, when, and where. So that's just very much the basic. So I joined when the ECAG was created, which is in 2014. And I think the aim at the beginning was to support eLife in its mission to champion everything about academia and how people are recognized for the job they're doing in academia. So many things. Remember we're less than 5 years old, right? So in 5 years, we've started to do webinars. These are ECR Wednesday, and they're fabulous resources. We also launched the ambassador program. We recruited new members for the ECAG. We've been spreading the word about eLife at our local communities, so department, colleague, friends, students, etc. We've challenged some of the current policies, so we've proposed that early career reviewers would join the panel of reviewers that are seeing papers in eLife, and they would fully contribute to the reviewing process, so that's actually ongoing. We've also proposed travel grants and so many other things, but all of that in 5 years, starting from zero, that's really, really good. So I'd say there are two that come to mind. The first one is when we meet in person. So as the ECAG members, we do meet initially it was quarterly calls, but now we've got much more frequent calls, so we meet monthly. But that's always through a screen. And there is only so much you can do through screens and meetings like that and video conferences. But for me, the very best moment is when we meet in person. So the AGM, which happens annually, that's a fabulous opportunity for us as the ECAG to discuss and to meet, but also to interact with eLife staff and also all the senior editors. So that's really one of the best moments. And it's actually nice because it happens every year. And then the second best moment is when we had the first call welcoming all the ambassadors for the first edition of the program. That was just fabulous because I was there in front of my screen and I was seeing every single second so many people joining the call. And then we ended up, it was 8 a.m. for me in London, but we ended up with 200 people from everywhere across the globe looking at this screen and interacting. And that's where I realized that all these people wanted to share something with us and we had common values, and that was really, really something special. I think it's been a steep learning curve. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. A dozen of early career scientists meeting quite rarely, if you think about it, having to share ideas. And I think the first problem was to establish what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. Then find out who would do what and contribute to it. Now, it sounds very trivial, but if you think we all are in full-time positions trying to push our career primarily, so it's all free time, and then we all are on different time zones, and then we all have very different deadlines. Someone will have a PhD application to submit, or a postdoc jobs that they are interviewing for, or a grant they have a deadline for, etc. So trying to combine all of that, plus all different personalities, plus all different time zones, plus all different, because we wanted to do so many things. So how do you start and where do you start? That was crucial. So I think one of the major roadblocks we had, and this is very my personal view on it, was how do we communicate efficiently between us with eLife, get the support we need to start moving with the initiative we wanted to push forward first. So we've learned a lot from there, and the ECAG now is not at all the ECAG like it was 5 years ago. I'm not comparing both. I think they're equally nice, and the group of people working on it are equally nice, but it's much more efficient now. So that's good. We know where we're going. So as I said, when we meet at the AGM once a year, we discuss what's the next plan for the next 12 months. And in 2016 in Berlin, we all met, and it became very obvious that with what we wanted to achieve as the ECAG group, we couldn't just do everything, just us. It also became very obvious that we needed to hear much more from the community what the community needed, because obviously we all growing up in terms of career, and so at some point you just need to hear more from the base what is needed to support early career researcher. So in 2016 in Berlin, we spoke about this idea of having ambassadors joining us and working with us to support all the initiatives. And it took, the first call of the ambassador program, that was January 2018. So it took literally a good 14 months to set up that first program. It was a lot of work, and it would have never been possible without Cora and Stephen here. So if you're watching this, thank you. But I think the idea was really to gather this community. Now, our surprise was when we launched the program to see how many people wanted to join it. So more than 250 people from everywhere said, yeah, I want to be part of that. I want to contribute. And they shared their enthusiasm and the great will to also challenge with us all that need to be challenged in the academic environment and publishing world. So that's really good. So I think it's impossible to go into specific initiatives because I will always forget some, and then some people will be offended, and I really don't want to offend anyone. So I'd say the biggest achievement for me is to have realized that there are so many people out there that are like-minded and that also are supporting this idea of championing and challenging with eLife what we're trying to do. And so for me, the biggest discovery really was the fact that all these people are ready in their free time to chip in and join and in the discussion and share their opinion, but also really work. They've done amazing stuff. We've created database, we've created platforms for people to share ideas and resources. There are training stuff ongoing where you can share this training platform and take them from your institute to another institute. So it's big, it's massive. I would have never thought we would achieve so much in only 12 months. And all of that on a voluntary basis. This, to me, is incredible. But for me, there is no limit. If year one was 200, it needs to be exponential. And only by being exponential, we're going to have so many more people chipping in and working on different initiatives and making things happen. It's not just a brainstorming platform where people share ideas. It is that too. But we deliver on very concrete and specific missions. And every year, that's the plan. So to me, an unlimited amount of numbers of ambassadors, that's the idea. Creating much more structures and supporting initiatives that can help people. I was a PhD in Brussels, in Belgium. And I remember it was very clear to me that I wanted to go abroad and do a postdoc abroad. But I had no idea how to apply for a job, who to contact, what's the type of letter you write. English was not even my primary language, like my first language. So how do you write a letter in English that sounds professional enough? Do you need to just apply for jobs that are open, or do you contact people spontaneously because their research interest matches yours? How do you find funding? How long are you going for? If you're moving with your family, how are you going to juggle all of that, etc.? So all of that, I think, is you have to permanently, all postdocs and PhDs and early career group leaders have to reinvent a wheel because someone somewhere has done exactly the same research. And so it really is a lot of time and money to have to redo that for every single postdoc or PhD or PI. So if there was a platform that offers that and so many other things, you can think about mentoring, you can think about how to write a paper. How do you ensure in your lab that reproducibility will be achieved, that transparency is there and it's maintained through the labs and through the generations of people working with you? That's what we're doing. That's exactly what the ECAG and the Ambassador program is trying to achieve, so to help people like that. Get in touch, contact us, or talk to people in your department or when you go to conferences. It's too easy to feel isolated, to think that you've noticed something that doesn't look quite right in the way academia works, or maybe you'd like to challenge. But on your own, in your own small, position, lab, community, you may not find the people that resonate with these views. That's fine. We've got them. We've got a full list of them. We know where they are. There's even more than that now because the program is getting bigger. So get in touch. And then that doesn't mean we'll, slave you into work. It means maybe you just find people you can share your idea with and think alike with, and then decide to maybe come and work towards an initiative, or maybe not, just watch one growing. But get in touch. It's too easy to feel isolated, and that's not the idea. Yeah, I think I'd like to say thank you to eLife, because without the support from eLife and the great people that are working, we would have never achieved any of this. It's too easy to forget, but they don't just provide the platform and the support, they also keep listening. And I've always been extremely pleased to find that whatever we have to say as an early career group, they listen. As challenging as it can be, even for their own policy, they always listen and they take us on board. And this is not easy. Know that I work with people and I too have sometimes a hierarchical position on people. It's really not easy for people to feel like they can come and express what they feel. So for eLife to make that possible and to really listen and take this on board as much as possible, I think this is fabulous. So thank you, eLife.